We chant with three Omkars, Saranavatu. We note the grace of the Guru and the Lord, then we start.
सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणालयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम् ॐ शुक्लाम्बरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये. Please repeat it after me. Vasudevendra Yogindram Natva Jnanapradham Gurum Mumukshunam Hitarthaya Tattvabodho Vidhiyate. We have been seeing this great text of Shankaracharya. Briefly we will see the initial meaning. Number one, this is called, in the initial sloka it was said, for the Hitarthaya Mumukshuna, the sloka that we chanted, for the real welfare of all of us who are the Mumukshus, he is giving us this Tattva Bodha. What is Tattva Bodha? We have seen it enough, but still we will slightly go through the. What is Tattva Bodha? We have seen this Tattva Bodha is nothing but this knowledge of that Supreme. It is also called Tattva Bodha, that knowledge of that Supreme Parabrahman. And what was indicated here was that Acharya has indicated here that he is going to give us the definition, the Viveka, the ability to discriminate between two, the Atma and the Anatma. Now, we have seen in the earlier shlokas, which we will not go through, but briefly we will say, we have to understand the capacity or practice, what is Atma and what is Anatma, the discrimination between the two. And it was briefly indicated that Atma Satyam, that Sarva Nityam. That means the main definition of the Atma is Atmaron is Satyam and Anatma is Mityam. So this text is about the discrimination or that discriminative knowledge between Atma and the Anatma. Or Atma is Satyam, one of the definitions, is Anatma is Mityam. We have also seen Atma was called independent existence, whereas Mityam we understood as dependent existence. Atma is independent. We have seen also it is like the famous example in the Vedanta, the rope, and Mithya is the snake. That rope is independently existent, that alone is true, but on that we superimpose the rope and believe as though there is snake, but in reality there is no. But even that existence of the snake is dependent on the, because we have superimposed the snake on the rope. This was one definition that we had seen, that Atma was called independent existence, Mithya was called independence existence. One more definition that we earlier saw was, we used it, Anirvachaniyam was called the Mithya. And while describing this, I am not going through the entire detail, briefly, it was said in one of these shlokas, the definition was Stula Sukshma Karana Sharirat Vyatiriktah, one definition. Avastatraya Sakshihi and Panchakosha Atitaha and Satchidananda Swarupaha Ya Tishtati Sa Atma. Here there was a mention of, as you see, those are anatmas. Anatmas was mentioned is number one, the three bodies, Stula, Sukshma, Karana, Sharira, gross body, the subtle body and the causal body, which we were dealt in detail. And then it was also called the three avasthas that all of us have experienced, been experiencing: the waking, the dream and the dream sleep state, Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti. The three avasthas, 3 plus 3, 6, and then Panchakosha, 5. Total how much? Yeah, 3 plus 3 plus 5, 6 plus 5, 11. These are the indicators of Anatma. And actually, there is not much of difference between the three bodies, Sthula, Sukshma, Sharira, and Panchakosha. Panchakoshas are 5. These Shariras are 3. If you observe closely, when we will be going through little more detail onto that, the gross body, the subtle body, the causal body, and the 5 koshas, Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, Anandamaya koshas. The gross body and the Annamaya kosha, same. Similar, different way of expression. And the last, the causal body and Anandamaya kosha, same. 1, 1, 1, 1. Then we have got one more, middle. Subtle body, the Sukshma Sharira. How many are left in the koshas? 3. Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya. So we will be delving a little more into the depth. And then we also talked about the 3 states, avasthas: waking, dream and deep sleep. When I am in the waking state, I will be identifying myself with the gross body. I am called the waker. It was called, a technical word we understood was Vishwa. When I am in the waking state, one of the avasthas, my identification is with the gross body and I am called the waker, and the technical word that was used was Vishwa. When I am in the second stage, the Swapna state, the dream state, my identification will be with my subtle body, and I am at that moment called a dreamer. And the technical word that is given we saw was Tejasa. And the third state, when I am in deep sleep, I am in tune with, merged into my causal body, the Karana Sharira, and there I am called the deep sleeper, and it is called the Prajna. All these are anatmas. First we will go further depth into the anatmas, and then we will see how to get into the Atma, realize Atman. So we will continue from there, and we are going to discuss, because we had discussed the three bodies, avasthas, and what was left was Pancha Koshas. Unfortunately, in the printout that I have given, that particular portion question is missing. Please take it after me in chorus. Pancha Koshaha ka ke. Please repeat. Pancha Koshaha ke. Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, Anandamaya Scheti. Together we will read Pancha Koshaha ke Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, Anandamaya sta edi. So here we are discussing what? There is a question, what? Pancha Koshaha ke. The student on our behalf is asking the Acharya, O Guru, what do you mean by the five koshas, Pancha Koshas? K is the question. What are the Pancha Koshas? The answer is crypt, and it says it is Annamaya. It is called the food sheath, and then the next call is Pranamaya, the vital air sheath, Manomaya, the mental sheath, Vijnanamaya, the intellectual sheath, and Anandamaya is that supreme Karana Sharira state. It is also, and here we will have to see again, Annamaya is equivalent to the glass body, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya is subtle body, and Anandamaya is the causal body. We have seen in depth what are the three bodies, so it is not very difficult to understand this. So we are going to understand what are the Pancha Koshas, the five koshas. So we will see the next question asked by the first question is very simple. The Shishya has asked Pancha Koshaha ke, sir, please tell me what are the five koshas. The Guru answers, they are five: Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, Anandamaya. So now obviously the student will ask all these questions about each one of the koshas. Let us briefly see the question. First, Annamaya kaha, Anna rasenaiva bhutva, Anna rasenaiva vruddhim prapya, Anna rupa pruthivyam yad viriyate tad annamaya koshaha sthula shariram. We'll read it together. Annamaya kaha Anna rasena bhutva Anna rasena vruddhim prapya Anna rupa pruthivyam yad viriyate tad annamaya koshaha sthula shariram. The five sheaths, we will have to understand it as maybe like this. You have seen a sword, no? Sword. And the sword is inside, outer is a sheath. This is exactly that. These are the five sheaths, and here is the sword. The outermost kosha is the Annamaya. Inside is Pranamaya. Next inner is Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, Anandamaya. And what is inside is the Atma. This inside we have to understand is which is subtler, and next we have to understand that it is the cause for the outer kosha. Whatever is inside is subtler. The grasses we have discussed first, and then we'll inside as we go it is subtler, subtler, goes on becoming subtler, and then it is more in Vedanta, subtlety is mentioned by pervasiveness. What is subtler is more pervasive. And then that becomes the cause for the outer layer. This is the, in fact, this whole Panchakosha has been beautifully brought about by this great Upanishad called Taittiriya Upanishad. Taittiriya is one of the greatest Upanishads. You know, wherever you go, whether it is in Shubha or Ashubha, people always chant these Taittiriya. Especially the first portion called the Shikshavali, there are called various upasanas, powerful, very meaningful. Then we have got the second portion called the Brahmanandavalli and Bhrugavalli. Now what I am talking, there is a lot of base on what is called the second portion called the Brahmananda Valli. And there is a very, very detailed description. They have spent quite a lot of time, lot of pages, hundreds of pages of commentary on the Panchakoshas. And in fact, I will quote this is a question it is asked, what is Annamaya Koshaha? What has been said is, Anna Rasenaiva Bhutva, means what? That which has been produced or that has come out because of the Anna Rasa. Anna Rasa is that essence because of which that is there. The food essence, this Annamaya Kosha is born out of the Annam. And then second it says, second what did you see? Anna Rasenaiva Vruddhim Prapya. That means that, number one, that because of which it is born out of the food that we eat. Second, Anna and Anna Rasa. Anna Rasa is the mentioned here. That means it is the essence of the Anna, the essence of the food that we eat. That is the cause for its generation. So it is called Anna Rasena Bhutva. It is born out of the essence of the food that we eat. That's what it means that. Next, that which grows because of the Anna Rasa, the essence of the food that we eat. And third, what did we see next? That which merges into that. Pruthivyam yad viliyate. That merges into that Anna. In fact, Prithvi is, there is again a generation, how it is all produced, we will be going to see in the next one. That which is born out of food, that which is growing in the food, and that which merges back into the food, and that is called the Sthula Sharira. Now, here, not only things, and here in our human body, we must understand how are we all born. How are we all born? Number one, the medical science will say, it is because, we were once a fetus, later on we have grown. Before the fetus, what was that? It is because of the sperm in the male and the egg in the female, and there was a fusion, and then we are born. And how is that sperm produced in the male? It is because of the food eaten by the person. The food that is eaten in the person becomes the sperm or the seed, and the food it is eaten by the female becomes the egg or ovum. This is called Shuka and Shaunika. and this fusion will create the fetus. So our birth is because of, it is nothing but one lump of mud, another lump of mud joining together, all of us are one more lump of blood, lump of mud. So our birth is because, though it is because of the sperm and the egg and Shuka and Shonika, it is because of the food eaten by the parents. So it is said, all this, we are all born because of the food. And then afterwards, when we were in the mother's womb, how did we grow? Because the mother ate food and it was transmitted through the umbilical cord when we were inside. And afterwards, we have been, this has been growing up to some age vertically. Afterwards, growth doesn't stop, the direction will change. But so we have been growing. This is one. And then, okay, we are born out of the anna, rasa, the essence of the food, and we have grown, growing, will continue to grow because of the food that we eat so many times per day. Morning, there is no rest. Once in a time we give rest for other things, Vedanta, for 1 week, nothing. Or other things we stop. We may stop from walking or exercise or office. We would like to take as much rest as possible. But as far as the food, continuous, and inside the Vaishwanara is there, and it goes in. And by the time he is digesting, one more, different colors, solids, we have been dumping. And we have been doing. Now, after, when we die, what will happen? This outer body, which is in the form, which is born out of the 5 Panchabhutas, will merge back into the Panchabhutas. So it will end in Prithvi, the mud. In fact, he says, I am quoting this, the Taittiriya in Annamaya Atma's Mahima, he says, Annat Bhutani Jayante, Jatan Annena Vardhante, Adyate Tisha Bhutani, Ethat Annam Taduchyata iti. Then he mentions a Rug mantra. This is an Yajurveda mantra. Here is what I am trying to explain is Adyate Atti. Now, the speciality of this Annamaya Kosha is it eats the Anna, and then this will be eaten by Anna. We are all going to become, we are eating from the Anna, and we are going to become Anna. We are going to be fertilizers back. Sometimes people say, oh, see, look at this, my fertilizer is growing. Either an animal or a plant will say, see, one day this fellow will die, and that body will become my food. Why? I understand this Annamaya Kosha, while it is born out of the food, it becomes food. And that is what it says. Vridiyate. This is the outer kosha. And next kosha is the Pranamaya Kosha. Now, there is a beautiful, maybe later on we will try to take this. Inside, there is a piece, Upasana technique which is given. We have to do the Upasana on first Annamaya Kosha, which is called staircase technique, the first technique. We will do as though this is the object, and then slowly we start feeling as though this Annamaya Kosha itself is the Atma, and then we go to the next step. Then we will find that this is only a Kosha. Kosha is not this Maya, that which is the product is that. And next stage we go to the Pranamaya. Pranamaya Kosha, there we start seeing it as the Pranamaya Atma. There is a fantastic, beautiful technique of meditation of the Panchakosha. This is a fantastic. And when we do it in the Pranamaya Kosha, he says, ये तस्यैव एव शारीर आत्मा यपूर्वस्य तस्माद्वा एतस्मात् प्राणमयात् अन्योन्तर आत्मा अन्यः अंतरः. Whatever each stage, the next stage pranamaya is anyaha and antaraha. Each kosha is different from the other and is inside. So first we saw the annamaya kosha. Now we are going to slowly enter into the pranamaya kosha. Pranamaya kosha is where? Is inside. And then there it is inside antaraha. And it is spread all over. And we'll see this next one. Pranamaya kaham pranadya panchavayavo vagindriya panchakaha pranamaya koshaha. We will repeat. Pranamaya kaham pranadya panchavayo vagandrindriya panchakaha pranamaya koshaha. Very simple. It says, the question is pranamayaha kaha. Because we said the koshas are 5. We are entering into the second. First we visualized annamaya as an atma. Then we see it is annamaya kosha. Kosha means it is grass. And inside, settled one, is inside annamaya kosha is the pranamaya kosha. Antaraha, it is inside and different from. And tenaisha purnaha says Taittiriya. Pranamaya fills everything of the annamaya. And then he says pranamaya kaha. What is the pranamaya is the question. What is the answer? The answer says pranadyaha panchavayavo. The 5 physiological functions. 5 physiological functions. Prana adi means we have got the 5. Prana, apana, vyana, samana, udana. Prana, apana, vyana, samana. These are the 5 physiological functions. And see, here it is clear. Plus what indriya panchakaha together with, we have to understand that. Not only some people understand this pranamaya is only the 5 physiological functions. Here Acharya clearly says is number 1, 5 physiological functions, prana, apana, vyana, samana, udana, with what? What? Indriya panchakaha. What? Means speak. He is only given an example. We have to take all the 5 organs of action. What? Pada, pani, payu, upasthani. What? Pani, pada, pani, payu, upasthani. The organ of speech, the hand, the legs, the excretory and the reproductive organs. These together is called the pranamaya kosha. Now, why this is? Because these pranas are inside, the 5. Prana is the perceptive physiological function. It is also called the respiratory system. The two, both the terminologies are used for the same. And apana is that physiological function which helps us to excrete things from our body, like the urine, stool, saliva and all that. Prana, apana, vyana. Vyana is the circulatory digestive function which will distribute all the energy from the toe to the head, vyana. Samana is the digestive physiological function which digests all the food and divides and helps to distribute to all parts of the body. It digests them. And then udana, there are 2 schools of thought. One is what is called as the thinking of the higher or that vayu which will go when we leave the body. But here in this context, what is mentioned is called as the reverse process. Reverse process is which normally doesn't happen. You eat unnecessarily and know the system is bad, and there is that process of vomiting. And then something goes into the eye, the tears will come out, or maybe sneezing. These reverse process is called the Udana. So these are the 5 physiological functions. Prana, Apana, Vyana, Samana, Udana, perceptive physiological function, and excretory physiological function, distributary or circulatory physiological function, the digestive physiological function, and the reverse process. And these will function with what? They need that opening through which it functions. That's why it is called Vak Indriyaha. So that is where with which we express these pranas. In fact, they are all functioning because of the pranas, and it is through which they express. So they have said that plus that is called the Pranamaya Koshaha. So that would be our second step of understanding this. So first we went into the Annamaya, and inside Anyaha, Antaraha is Prana, and that is spread all over. This is the Pranamaya. So the next kosha is what? Manomaya. We'll see that. Manomaya kosha kam kaha. Kosha kaha. Manascha jnanendriya panchakam. Militva yo bhavati. Sa manomaya kosha. We'll repeat it together. Manomaya kosha kaha. Manascha jnanendriya panchakam. Militva yo bhavati. Sa manomaya kosha. Manomaya kosha kaha. Question. What the disciple is asking, the Shishya is asking, Oh Guru, please tell me, what is this Manomaya kosha? The Guru answers, what? Manaha, the mind, and the Manomaya kosha, some people will say it's only the mind. No, please understand here. This is one authority, because people say if you have to really understand Bhagavad Gita and the other Upanishads, it is essential that we go into depth in Tattvabodha. Otherwise we understand, many times we misunderstand. With this background of Tattvabodha, our understanding of either the Bhagavad Gita, the Vedas or the Upanishads will become, or Brahma Sutra will become better. Manaha, mind, cha, and Jnanendriya, Panchakam. Jnana, Indriya, Panchakam, five organs of perception, militva, what? Together, we have to say. Then form what? Yo bhavati, whatever, by merger of the mind, by mixing of the mind, by coming together of mind and organs of perception, whatever comes is called the Manomaya Kosha. Manomaya Kosha means two. Number one, the mind, that all of us are aware, and that has to get merged or mixed with what? Jnana Indriya Panchakam. Jnana Indriyas are 5: eye, ear, nose, tongue and skin. They are all in our UP, Uttar Pradesh. MP is finished. Now, these 5, this kosha, mind is also called, they have got different meanings. It is also called the seat of emotions, that is one mind. And it is also called Sankalpa Vikalpagat Amanaha. You are inside the house. Today we have the meditation study circle. Should I go or not? Should I go or not? That faculty of indecisiveness, Sankalpa Vikalpanat, that is called the mind. And it is also the seat of emotions. So that, for that has to function, actually it is through which I get the Jnana Indriyas. You know, right now you are hopefully listening. Something is going in. Probably you are seeing some actions, my movement of my body, and probably some words are there. But for you to get jnanas, in addition to these, you have to have the mind. So that militva, that kosha is called the, so that is subtler than the pranamaya. Pranamaya is subtler than the annamaya. Antara antara, tena esha purnaha says Taittiriya. So that is inside what? Manomaya is inside Pranamaya. Pranamaya is inside Annamaya, and this kosha, Manomaya, is inside Anyaha Antaraha. It is different and inside, and it is full. And that is the next step of meditation. Slowly, this is a technique of slowly taking us from the grass to the settler, like that. So, the next kosha we will see. Vijnanamaya kaha buddhir jnanendriya panchakam militva yo bhavati sa vijnanamaya koshaha. Let us read it together. Vijnanamaya koshaha kaha buddhir panchakam Vijnanamaya koshaha. The question is, what is Vijnanamaya koshaha? Means what? Annamaya kosha, Pranamaya kosha, Manomaya kosha. This is called intellectual sheath. Food sheath, vital air sheath, mental sheath, and the intellectual sheath. This intellectual sheath is where? Anyaha Antaraha. Different from the other three. And Tenesha Purnaha says it is full. And what is this Vijnanamaya? Buddhihi plus Jnana Indriya Panchakam. Buddhi, the intellect. Jnana Indriya Panchakam, the 5 Jnana Indriyas. Same 5. You will see here, both in Manomaya and Vijnanamaya, Jnana Indriya is common. When we went to the Annamaya kosha, we saw different. We saw Pranamaya kosha, what did we see? What? Indriya Panchakam. There it was a combination of prana with organs of action. Whereas in Manomaya and Vijnanamaya, in Manomaya it was a combination of the mind with Jnanendriyas. But in here, in intellectual sheet, Buddhi plus Jnana Indriya Panchakam Militva Yo Bhavati. Whatever comes out, or it is a product of, it is a combination of the intellect and the 5 organs of perception. Together that happens is called the intellectual sheath. So, intellectual sheath is called the decisive faculty in us. It is also called Nishchayatmika Buddhi. You are discussing, you are oscillating. Manomaya, shall I go to class or not? And finally you said, okay, I will go. That faculty, that decisive faculty is called this. And there, while it was a seat of emotions, this is a seat of discretion. Mind is a seat of emotions, emotional faculty. Here is a decisive faculty, and intellectual sheet is this. So this combination of this intellect plus this is called the vote. This is the 4th sheet, and we have got one more. What is that? Anandamaya koshaha. We will read that. Anandamaya kaha evameva karana sharira bhuta avidyasta malina sattvam priyadi vrittim sahita priyadi vritti sahitam sat anandamaya koshaha. We'll read it together. Anandamaya evameva karana sharirat priyadi vritti sahitam sat anandamaya koshaha. Anandamaya kaha. Question is, again the disciple is asking, sir, please tell me what is Anandamaya kosha. He says, evam eva, in this way alone, what? Karana Sharira Bhutva. 2 things are there. It is called the Karana Sharira, the causal body. There we saw, we try to bring the link between the three bodies and the koshas. The grass body was Annamaya. And the Karana Sharira, the Anandamaya is Karana Sharira, the causal body. It's called Karana Sharira. In between we had the three, subtle body. There we had Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, Anandamaya Kosha, all the three together will become the subtle body. Now we have come to this Karana Sharira. This is Karana Sharira Bhutvam, that is established in, and then it says Avidya. This is in a state of ignorance, that is number one. We'll see what is that ignorance. And then it is also called a state of happiness, which is called Priya Adi Vritti Sahitam Sat. We'll see what are those Priya. All these are not mentioned. We'll try to see Priya Adi. That means what? This is united with thoughts of Lords like Priya Adi, and it is also causal body of the avidya. It is called the state of ignorance, and this is called Sat Anandamaya Koshaha. That means this is a state where we are established in ignorance, but it is in the form of causal body, Karana Sharira, and it is of the impure nature, Amada, and it is united with thoughts of like Priya. And this state we experience when we are in deep sleep state. When we are in deep sleep state, what happens is, number one, fortunately, we will have no problems. Relatively, your wife or husband will not bother you. Your neighbors, no bother you. There is no botheration of that useless boss of the office. And that
This is happiness portion, as per your saying.
No, not that. It is not Ananda. It is not Ananda. It is not Ananda.
That's why he is asking. Madhina Sattva is there. How will you Madhina Sattva?
Madhina Sattva is temporarily you are free from stress and worries. It is a very good question he asked. Because otherwise this wouldn't have been called one more kosha. We are still in that kosha. It is not a state of that supreme. That is why it is called what? Ignorance. State of ignorance means what? I am not aware of my status. But still, it is via media. But we have a temporary ananda. But in fact, it is wrong to call it as though it is called Anandamaya Kosha. It is not total eternal bliss. It's called a bliss sheath, no doubt. But that is a state where we are free from worries, free from tensions, and there is at that moment there is no identification either with my grass body or the subtle body. There is no more problem of whatever ailments you have, the physical ailments, you don't have it when you are in sleep. And whatever problems of the mind you have, that's why I am using the word tension, worries. You are free from that. You are not, even if you are suffering from highly painful cancer or this, when you are in sleep, when you really sleep, there you have no problems of the body. That way we are relatively happy, and we have no problem with the mind, no tension, no worry. But now we have, he has used the word, what is the word he has used? Priyadi Vritti Sahitam. There are three, the religious masters have given this as three. We call happy, happier, happiest. Three. I am still not saying it is not that supreme state. But what is happy, happier, happiest? In Sanskrit, we use the term Priya, Moda, and Pramoda is not mentioned there. Priya, Moda, and Pramoda. let us say that let me take back to your youthful days, and you are thinking of your boyfriend or the girlfriend, thinking of the girlfriend. You have been longing, and he or she comes there, and at that moment you get little happy, little pleasure. This is called Priya, that you have only seen. Suppose I am giving you so that you understand, why in Vedanta, why is using this? You are thinking of your, go back to your romantic days, 18, 19, 20, 21, and your boyfriend. At that moment, you are thinking and you have the darshana of your boyfriend, girlfriend, and that state of pleasure is called Priya. You are happy. What is the next step? Hold hand in hand. We not only saw her, now we are holding. So it is little superior. This is called Modha. It is, let me call it as Grahana. So, Grahana, not solar eclipse, no eclipse. You hold her hand. So from Priya, you come to Modha. And then ultimately, if you still more get little more pleasure, which I leave you to imagine. I know you are kept. That's called Pramoda. So these are the three states: Priya, Moda, Pramoda. Happy, happier, happiest. This is the state, the different states we have in our deep sleep state. In deep sleep also these are the three stages, and that state is called the what? Anandamaya Koshaha.
Sir, this comfort for the body.
No, it is neither the comfort for the body, nor the comfort for the mind, nor the comfort for the intellect. Because at that moment, I am identified with the, not the gross body, not the subtle body. I am in, it is called Vasana Sharira. I am in the, it is like a seed form.
Trying to differentiate this comfort for the body. Obviously, comfort is that for the body. It is happiness. It is for the mind. Because they feel happiness in the mind. But this is Ananda is for.
This is in between that and that Ananda. You don't have problems, as I said, of the body. You don't have problems with the mind, but you have not experienced that state. It is not the comfort of the body, because in deep sleep state, where is your body?
No, I'm not referring to this thing.
And it is not even a comfort for the mind, because you are in fact, for you at that moment, for me and you, the whole world, including the intolerable wife and children or husband, gone, they are not there. Because they have all become pralaya. Every day we have Srishti, Sthiti and pralaya. When I am in sleep, all this world and the people of both the Jagat, and that is in a pralaya. Where is our body? There is nothing. But because we are not in that state of total bliss, we can't call it as that. So it is in between. On that kosha, where I am free from tension, worry of the mind or of the body, but we are in a state of ignorance and everything is in unmanifest. Every word, this word is pralaya. That state is called as the Anandamaya Kosha, and in that state I am in what is called as, my identification is with a subtle body. I am called Prajna. That is the state. Okay. Next. Etat kosha panchakam. These are the 5 koshas. Now let us go into the important, very nice things now. Now we will see the next slowly. Madiyam Shariram, Madiya Pranaha, Madiyam Manascha, Madiya Buddhihi, Madiyam ajnanamiti stenaiva jnayat tadyata madiyatvena jnatam kataka kundala gruhadikam swasmat binnam tata panchakoshadikam swasmat binnam madiyatvena jnatam atma na bhavati. Now this is slowly we have to see what is that Madiyam Shariram. He has given a beautiful example. In fact, this is one of the most powerful. We can always use it for our meditation and contemplation. Madiyam Shariram. This is what it means. What? My body. Madiyaha pranaha. My pranas. Pranas plural. Madiyam manaha. That means what? My mind. Madiya buddhihi, my intellect, and then Madiya ajnanam. Some people wrongly read it as Madiya ajnanam. At least at that particular spot, be clear. Madiya ajnanam. That is what? My ignorance. Iti, thus what? Jnanam iti swaineva jnayat. What? Tad yata. He is an example for him. Madiyatvena jnatam kataka kundala gruhadikam swasmat binnam. Now he will try to understand this. What? The three words that are given is kataka, kundala, gruhadi. It is only an example. Kataka is all of you have these earrings, and kataka, my bangle, my earring, my house. Now what he says is, when I say my bangle, my earring and my house, so when it says it is mine, Acharya says it is my possession, and when it is possession, it is binnam from me. That is different from me. When I say my watch, it is my watch. I am not the watch. When I say my, madiyam. When I say, he has given three examples: my bangle, my earring, my house. When you say, which says what? When you say that it is different from me, because it is my object. I am the subject, that is the object. This is my clock. When I say my clock, how can I be the clock? I am different. I am the possessor, the subject. This is the possessed object. I am different. Suppose I say, I have a donkey. It means I am not a fortunate. I have a donkey means I have a donkey. If it is understood, then we have understood the whole Vedanta. He says, and then the list is given. If you see the list of all of them, Shariram, Pranaha, Manaha, Buddhihi, Ajnanam. They are the mentions of the Pancha Koshas: Annamaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha, Vijnanamaya Kosha. Ajnana indicates that Anandamaya Kosha. It is a state of ignorance. And Pancha Koshadikam, these five Pancha Koshas, we have said my body, or my grass, Annamaya Kosha, my Manomaya Kosha, my Vijnanamaya Kosha, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, Anandamaya Kosha, grass, subtle and causal bodies. These are when I say I, and it says what? I am not one of them because we are using the word my and my and my, including my ignorance. Actually, when we are in a state of ignorance, we are in a deep sleep state. But at deep sleep state, you do not know you are in sleep. You don't know. If anybody says, I am sleeping, it is false. If anybody, have you heard anybody, I am sleeping? If you have heard, then he is not sleeping. So that is a state of ignorance. State of ignorance. He is not right. So all these things, because of this, what? Just like these bangles, earrings, etc., when we say mine, they are other than me. Similarly, the 5 koshas, they are different because they are mine. They say they are not the self. Like I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am not. These koshas, pancha koshas, are the sheets outside my inner essence. Inner essence we have not gone. Annamaya kosha, pranamaya kosha, manomaya kosha, vijnanamaya kosha, anandamaya kosha, they are the 5 sheets covering me. They are my koshas. I am inside through all them and different. In fact, Taittiriya says, Antaraha Anyaha. I am repeating this repeatedly. Each kosha is Anyaha and Antaraha. I am Anyaha, different from these sheets, and I am Antara. Antara means, don't say inside you dig in something. Actually, it is in and through everything. So what we have to take here is, we have been discussing of the Panchakosha. These Panchakoshas are not me. They are mine. They are the sheets covering on me, and we have to continuously slow on meditating. In fact, there is a beautiful technique of meditation. Step by step we have to understand each one. First we have to go to the Annamaya Kosha, meditate on that. There is a technique. In fact, he gives the technique, Shariraha, I am Dakshina Pakshaha, I am Uttara Pakshaha, I am Atma, I am Pucham Pradishta. There is a technique where he gives a method in the Taittiriya, in the Brahmananda Valley, where you start meditating and then you start seeing that that as Atma, and then you will find that it is not the Atma, and then you go to the higher step, then like that you go, and finally you reach the Panchakosha, and there also you must understand it is not me, like my bangle, my earring, my house, my pen, my book, etc. I am not of them. So, neti is the concept. So we have only come up to that. We have not gone to the next step. Now we have understood I am not, they are not me. Panchakosha Viveka it is called. I am not the Panchakoshas. Then what? Then we go to the next step, the most important step. Atma, because understand, the whole text is called Tattva Bodhaha. Tattva Bodhaha is the knowledge of Atma. And we are giving what? Anatma and Atma Vivekaha, as I said in the beginning. So we have seen what? A list of Anatmas. Here we went through the Panchakoshas. They are all the Anatmas. All this definition was given for us to understand the Anatma. Now we have to understand the other vow. What? We'll see. Atma Tarhi Kaha Satchidananda Swarupaha Sat Kim Karatrayepi. There is a printing error. Please read it as Karatrayepi Tishtatiti Sat. Next question. Chit Kim Jnana Swarupaha Anandakaha Sukaswarupaha Evam Satchidananda Swarupam Swatmanam Vijaniyat. We read it together. Atma Tarhi Kaha Chidananda Swarupaha Sat Kim Karatrayepi Tishtaditi Sat चित् किं ज्ञानस्वरूपः आनन्दकः सुखस्वरूपः एवं सच्चिदानन्दस्वरूपं स्वात्मानं विजानीयात्. Question is, sir, you gave me the definition of the Anatma, Anatma. The whole purpose was for me to realize what is Atma. At least tell me, I will make an attempt. Tell me, sir, Atma tarhi kaha. Tarhi means then. There is a meaning there. Tarhi means then. You said this and this. Then you tell me tarhi, O Guru, Atma kaha. What is Atma? Here he has given this, but there are three independent indicators. It is what? Sat, Chit, Ananda, Swarupa. Swarupa means of the nature of. Atma kaha? Then the question is, sir, then what is Atma? The Shishya says, the Guru says, it is of the Swarupa means nature of. Sat, Chit, Ananda means existence. Sat, Chit, consciousness. Ananda, bliss. Existence, consciousness, bliss. Sat, Chit, Ananda. What? Atma is of the nature of Sat, Chit, Ananda. It is an indicator again. Now the question is, he is asking, what is one after the other? What is what? But he says, what is? This is called, as he said, we are trying to understand Anatma and then trying to understand Atma. Now we are giving some indicators. Sat Kim. Sat means what? What is existence? What is the answer he is given? Kalatrayepi tishtati iti sate. What is existence? Sat was called. That means what? Kalatraya, the three periods of time, the past, the present and the future. Kalatraya are the three periods of time of the past, present and future. In all the three stages, what is? Yah sat tishtati, whatever remains there without changing. That is called changes. What was, is and will be and which does not change is called Sat. So you look into all these things that we have seen now, all the Panchakoshas, some of them, your own body, it has been changing. It was small, every cell is changing, and our mind is changing, our buddhi, all the Panchakoshas, the 6, 3 plus 3 plus 5, avastha, 3 avasthas, 3 bodies and Panchakosha, 3 plus 3 plus 5, all the 11, they are all changing. So he says, that which changes cannot be that. Sat is one which remains unchanged in what? In Kalatrayas, in the three periods of time. That is called existence. So, that is the supreme consciousness. We call it as Parabrahman. Sat, Sat, Sat. They say Brahma eva Satyam. Tat Sarvam Mithya. The one and only Satyam or Sat is only that which does not change and which is the witness to all this. Even the time our three states of waking, dream and deep sleep, there is that state in me which is witnessing, so there is that. So, what? Supreme Parabrahman is Sat. Others? Asat, we called it as Mithyam. Dependent existence. Sat is independent existence. That is Satyam. What is the next one? Chit Kim. Jnana Swarupa. Git Kim. Chit Kim. Jnana Swarupaha. Chit means consciousness. Consciousness, he says, Jnana Swarupaha. It is of the state of absolute total knowledge. total knowledge is called consciousness is of the nature of absolute knowledge. And here we have to see, number one, this consciousness that is mentioned here is, number one, it is not a property of a body. We should not mistake it to be any property. Number one, it is not a property of anybody, and it is that which makes the body alive. Our body is functioning. Another character of what is indicated by consciousness is I am speaking, this body is functioning. You are here, unfortunately, listening because of the consciousness. That power, because of which you are getting this experience, is this. We are all alive because of the consciousness, and that because of the which this body is surviving is because of that consciousness, and that is a state of supreme consciousness. And we will be seeing the detailed meaning later on, because we are only giving a little gross meaning of all this. The consciousness is, number one, what did I say? It is not the property. No, it is also not a product of the body. This consciousness is not a product. It is not bounded by the body. It is not bounded by the body. It is not conditioned by the body. It is not a product of the body. And it, again, one more, I am trying to give the various definitions of this consciousness. It says it is that which will be surviving even after this body dies. Certainly, one day we are going to die, but those who come to this class and you won't die. You won't die means not die the hair. You won't die because the moment you realize that I am that consciousness chitta, then when you are no more identified with the body, this consciousness won't die with the death of the body. Number one, what did I say? Number one, it is not a product of the body, and it is making the body alive. It is that because of which the body is functioning. It is not bounded by the body. It doesn't die when the body dies. So this invisible factor which is everywhere, no form, no shape, that which environs everything in this universe, that is the consciousness. And what is the third one? Anandaha kaha. What is it? It was called Sukha Swarupaha. And this Ananda is totally different from the small fleeting pleasure and the temporary happiness, including the so-called happiness that we got in sleep. I had a peaceful sleep, you say, when you got up. But even that Ananda, if that were long, permanent, we need not have struggled all this meditation and all this study and all that. We should have been continuously sleeping. But the Ananda, the bliss that we get here, is something which is different from the experiences of the pleasures that we get of the body, of the mind or the intellect. These are not even the state of ignorance that we enjoyed in the deep state. This is called, this bliss that we get here, it is of the nature of bliss. What? Anandaha kaha, Sukha Swarupaha. It is said Sukha, let us not mistake it to be the body comfort or some comfort of the mind or little intellect or the deep sleep stage of temporary Ananda that we get. That we no doubt have little Ananda in deep sleep, but the moment you woke up, the same useless world, same people, same work, we get that. But this state of Ananda that is indicated by that Satchidananda Swarupaya, Sat Chit Ananda, is called boundless, limitless. It is called Purna and complete. I hope you understand the difference, because we had some doubts on the Ananda that we had, but that to give an example, you have got a candle. You see, it's very quiet when it is totally dark in Amavasya, power is gone, that gives so much of light, no? One more candle. Afterwards, you get this tube lights. What do you think is the proportion of the light of these tube lights compared to the one candle? Now, even if you put some lots and lots of the huge sodium vapor or mercury lamps, you can maybe outside you put, but compare it to the sunlight. Start imagining the light of the candle, the light of these tubes, that is huge, and then the light of huge lamps, then the light of the sun. That sun is illuminating, that one sun, all parts of the earth, everywhere. How much do you think is the comparison? Compare it to Koti Surya Samaprabha. One sun, one crore suns, one candle, few tube lights, that bigger lamp. Sun itself is incomparable. And Koti Surya, compare it to the candle. The Ananda that we get in this deep sleep is temporary. The moment you wake up is not there. It is like a candle, and the Ananda that you get in Brahma Jnana, that supreme state when I experience, is like Koti Surya compared to candle. So number one, Ananda that is mentioned here, Ananda Kaha Sukha Swarupaha. This Ananda is Ananta, is boundless, limitless, it is full, total and complete, and that you can not experience either through the body or through the mind or through the intellect. All these are limited equipments. With the limited equipments, my experience also is limited. I cannot experience that state as long as I am identified with my BMI, the body, the mind and intellect. As long as I am identified with my Panchakoshas. What is that? Annamaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha, Vijnanamaya Kosha, Anandamaya Kosha. They are all limited, and all the experience that I get, including the so-called bliss or happiness or pleasure, is limited. But what is mentioned here is that supreme experience of bliss, Ananda experience that you get when I experiencing my own self. It is called Atma Sakshatkara. When I get total mukti, total freedom from all the bondages of my body, mind and intellect, my upadhis are the equipment, and it is in that state, that experience that I get is that Sat Chit Ananda together. That is the Swarupa of the. Please understand, let us not take it as definition, because Atma cannot be defined. It is in this direction we must start experiencing. When I am able to experience that I am the Sat, I am the Chit, I am the Ananda, Satchidananda Swarupaha Aham. Satyam Jnanam Anantam says in the first valley of the Brahmananda valley of Taitari, Satya Jnanam Anantam. And that is a state that we have got to experience. Okay. Let us start in every stage of meditation, we start doing it. And so with that we have completed one stage. This was the purpose we had to understand today, the Panchakoshas And then we have to also, I think that is interesting that we understand. That is very important on our meditation. You can take it as that particular portion that we discussed, what that I am not the body, I am not that was there, no? Please give a lot of concentration on that madiyam, 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 and that, and we start experiencing that in our state, so that we can get only when you go beyond the body. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschit dukkha bhag bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. If you have any questions, we have got 3 minutes. We can discuss. All that we talk and all that is perceivable, thinkable, or what is available for the organs of perception, the mind, intellect, what you can feel and what you can think also is unreal. There is only one. Because there is nothing like, is something like I experience something, is something which is different from me, then it can be Nityam. It is unreal. Any other questions?
See, it's a difference between knowledge and reality.
Knowledge and
reality. So is it sufficient to have clear knowledge of Atma?
No, absolutely no. His question is it sufficient that we have knowledge? If you recollect, Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi is a great realized soul, 1950 he was there. There was one person called Kavyakanta Ganapati Mahamani. He had, as you said, extraordinary knowledge of all the Vedas, the Upanishads, Brahmachura, all this, pata, he could from one end to another. That is why he was called Kavyakanta Ganapati Mahamani. He knew all the knowledge of all scriptures. He had read and digested all of them. Still he had a lot of confusion. He goes to Bhagavan, sir, I have read, I know all that, but still I am suffering, I am miserable. Bhagavan says, very simple. You know all this theory. You say, I know all that. Go to the root of who is that I. And please don't try to read or get knowledge of I. Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi said, get that experience. Who is that? This is questioning. I know all. I have read. I have understood. Go to that root and find out what. The moment you get that, you get bliss. So knowledge will never give us any bliss.
It can be realized only in
deep meditation alone.
deep meditation alone.
Actually, even we cannot meditate also. Actually, he says, again, like I said you, like somebody says, I am sleeping, he is not sleeping. If anybody says, I am meditating, he is not. Meditation, the techniques that we do is only our preparation only. It is something like that. You go into bed, maybe you have a comfortable bed and all that. You all do the preparation. With all that, you can't get sleep till she embraces you. I am using the word. And when you undress yourself, she will embrace you. Undress, not this. When you undress, she means what? Nidra Devi. Our technique is only undressing, she will embrace. Similarly, all the techniques that we know is only preparation, and if our preparations are good, our sankalpa is strong, we have good samskara, then the meditation will happen.
It's not a worship.
Now today, most of the places you have got commercial meditation. It is sold for, oh, what horrible. That is not meditation. In fact, meditation is the most abused term today. Even in those called of meditation, it doesn't happen. So this real meditation shall happen. All those things that we are doing is only preparation. But only in the height of meditation, maybe the karma, jnana, bhakti yoga will help us to purify ourselves, make us fit for meditation. We may create conducive atmosphere, and then it will happen. Knowledge of meditation is nothing. Even if we give talks on meditation, it doesn't work. It has to be done, experienced only. Thank you very much. I enjoyed. Next.